The room was quiet. Too quiet. Machines made soft beeping sounds.
Did I hit a nerve?
The lights were low. The air smelled like medicine and clean sheets. On the hospital bed, Amelia Carter lay very still. She did not move her legs. She did not even try. Her long hair rested on the pillow. Her face looked calm, but inside, her heart was beating fast. Doctors had told everyone the same thing. Mrs. Carter may never walk again. Nurses whispered it in the hallway. Visitors spoke about it with sad faces. News spread fast. Amelia Carter, the young millionaire heiress, now paralyzed. Her husband, Richard Carter, stood next to the bed, ching her hand. In front of people, Richard looked like a caring husband. He held her hand. He smiled softly. He told doctors, "Please do everything you can for my wife." People felt sorry for him. They said, "That poor man. His life changed in one day." But what people did not see was the truth. When the door closed, Richard changed. His smile faded. His eyes became cold. His hands slowly pulled away from hers. Amelia kept her eyes half closed. She stayed very still. She listened. Richard looked at his phone. He checked the time. He sighed. "This is not how my life was supposed to go," he said quietly. Amelia felt pain in her chest. Not in her body, but in her heart. Because Amelia was not really paralyzed. No one knew this. Not the nurses. Not the hospital. Not even Richard. Only 3 people knew the truth. Amelia, her private doctor, and her lawyer. It was all a test. A dangerous test. Amelia wanted to see who her husband really was when she had nothing to give him. Money, beauty, power. She wanted to know if he would still love her, if she could not walk, if she could not be the strong, rich woman anymore. So she made a hard choice. She pretended. She trained herself to stay still. She learned how to hide pain. She learned how to act weak. Every day was hard. But what hurt more was watching her husband change. At first, Richard came every day. He brought flowers. He kissed her forehead. He told her, "I am here, baby." Always. But after 1 week, things changed. The flowers stopped. The visits became shorter. His phone became more important than her. One afternoon, Amelia heard him talking on the phone in the corner of the room. He thought she was asleep. "She may never walk again," Richard said. He paused. Then he said something that made Amelia's heart drop. "If she never walks again, everything will be mine soon." Amelia almost opened her eyes. Her hands wanted to shake, but she stayed still. She needed to hear more. "I did not sign up for this," Richard continued. "I married a strong woman, not someone in a bed." He laughed softly. "That money better be worth it." Amelia felt tears slide down the side of her face into the pillow, but she did not wipe them. She let him believe she was weak, because she needed the truth. Outside the room, a man pushed a cleaning cart slowly down the hall. His name was Marcus. Marcus was a black janitor. He worked nights. He cleaned floors, emptied trash, and stayed quiet. Most people did not even look at him, but Marcus noticed everything. That night, Marcus stopped near Amelia's door. He heard raised voices. Richard's voice was sharp and angry. "I am tired of this." Richard snapped. "My life is on hold because of you." Marcus froze. He did not mean to listen, but he could not walk away. "I did everything for you," Richard said. "And now you are just lying there." Amelia said nothing. She stayed still. Marcus felt something heavy in his chest. He looked through the small glass window on the door. He saw Richard standing over Amelia's bed. He saw no love in his face. Only anger. Only stress. Only greed. Marcus whispered to himself, "That is not how a husband should look at his wife." Richard stormed out of the room. He almost bumped. Marcus stepped aside. He lowered his head. "Yes, sir," Marcus said quietly. But inside, Marcus felt something was very wrong. He walked into Amelia's room to clean. He moved slowly. He made soft sounds. Amelia opened her eyes just a little. Their eyes met for 1 second. Marcus saw something strange. Not weakness. Not fear. He saw awareness. He saw intelligence. Amelia closed her eyes again. Marcus pushed his cart out of the room, but his mind was racing. "That woman is not as weak as they think," he said to himself. "And that man, he is hiding something." That night, Marcus made a silent promise. He would watch. He would listen. because something dark was growing in that hospital room, and the truth was about to come out. The next morning, the sun came up slowly outside the hospital window. Light touched Amelia's face, but warmth did not touch her heart. She opened her eyes and stared at the ceiling. She had slept very little. Her mind kept playing Richard's words again and again. If she never walks again, everything will be mine soon. Those words stayed in her head like poison. The door opened. Richard walked in. He did not smile. He did not rush to her side. He stood near the door and checked his phone first. "Morning," he said, without looking at her. Amelia turned her head slightly. "Good morning," she said softly. Her voice was weak on purpose. Richard walked closer. He looked at her legs. Then he looked away. The silence felt heavy. "So, any change?" he asked. Amelia shook her head slowly. "No," she whispered. Richard sighed loud. He rubbed his face. "Doctors are taking too long," he said. "This is costing a lot of money." Amelia's heart hurt, not because of the money, but because of his tone. No witty, no love, only stress. A nurse walked in to check Amelia. Richard stepped back. He smiled again, the fake smile. "How is my beautiful wife today?" Richard said in a sweet voice. The nurse smiled. "She is strong," the nurse said. "She is fighting." Richard nodded. "That's my girl," he said. But when the nurse left, the smile left too. He did not hold Amelia's hand. He did not kiss her forehead. He just sat in a chair and looked at his phone. Minutes passed. Amelia closed her eyes. She wanted to cry. She wanted to stand up and scream. But she stayed still. This was the test. She had to see how deep his love really was. Later that day, Amelia heard something that hurt even more. She heard laughter. Female laughter. From the hallway. Amelia opened her eyes slightly. Richard was standing near the door, talking to a young woman. The woman touched Richard's arm. She smiled at him. "You should call me later," the woman said softly. Richard smiled back. "I will," he said. Amelia felt her stomach turn. The woman walked away. Richard walked back into the room like nothing happened. Amelia looked at him. Her eyes were full of silent questions. Richard avoided her eyes. "What?" he asked. "Nothing," Amelia whispered. But inside, her heart was breaking. That evening, Marcus came to clean. He pushed his cart slowly. He always moved with respect. "Good evening, ma'am," Marcus said kindly. "Good evening," Amelia replied softly. Marcus could see the sadness in her eyes. He did not rush. He cleaned slowly. Richard sat in the corner. He looked annoyed. "You don't need to clean now," Richard said. "Come back later." Marcus nodded. "Yes, sir," he said calmly. But before leaving, Marcus looked at Amelia. He gave a small, respectful nod. It was small, but it meant something. That night, Richard thought Amelia was asleep. He sat near the window and called someone. Marcus was in the hallway. The door was slightly open. Marcus heard Richard's voice. "She's still not walking," Richard said. "No improvement." Pause. Then Richard laughed. "Yeah, I know. It's sad, but I can't live like this forever." Marcus felt anger rise inside him. Richard continued. "I'm thinking about moving her somewhere cheaper. A care place. Long term." Pause. "She won't even know. She barely reacts anymore." Marcus clenched his fist. That was not love. That was cold. That was cruel. Inside the room, Amelia heard it too. Every word. Her heart felt like it was being squeezed. Moved away. Forgotten. Thrown aside. Later, Richard ended the call. He stood over Amelia. He looked at her like a problem, not like a wife. "You need to get better," he said coldly. "I can't carry everything alone." Amelia wanted to say, "I see you. I hear you. I know who you are." But she stayed quiet because she wanted the truth. Not half of it. Not pretty lies. She wanted to see how far he would go. Marcus cleaned outside again later. He looked at Amelia's door. He whispered to himself, "That woman is in danger." He did not know her secret, but he knew something was wrong. He could feel it. That night, Marcus made another promise. Not just to watch, but to protect in any way he could. Because sometimes, the quiet people see the truth first. And sometimes, the ones people look down on are the ones who stand up when no one else will. The hospital felt different now. Not calm. Not safe. The halls were still bright, but something dark moved under the surface. Amelia could feel it. Every time Richard walked into the room, the air changed. He was not just cold anymore. He was planning. His eyes did not look at her with anger now. They looked at her with calculation, like she was a problem to solve, or a door to open, or something to move out of the way. That morning, Richard came in early. Too early. He was dressed sharp, hair perfect, phone in hand. Big day, he said to himself. Amelia heard him. She kept her eyes closed. She listened. Richard walked to the window and made a call. Yes, today, he said. I want everything ready. Pause. I need those papers fast. Pause. She won't question it. Amelia's heart began to beat faster. Papers? What papers? Richard lowered his voice. She trusts me, or she's too weak to fight back. That hurt more than anything. Weak. That was how he saw her now. Not as a partner, not as a wife, but as an object. Outside, Marcus was cleaning near the nurse's station. He saw Richard step into a quiet corner. Richard looked around. Then he started another call. Marcus slowed down. He did not mean to listen, but the name he heard made him stop. The lawyer will be there at 3, Richard said quietly. Yeah, a private one, not a regular guy. Marcus's ears stayed sharp. Richard continued. I'm changing things. Power of attorney, medical control, financial access. Marcus did not know all the legal words, but he knew enough. This was not good. This was control. This was dangerous. Richard ended the call. Marcus pretended to mop, but his mind was racing. Power of attorney meant Richard could decide everything. Money, care, location, life. Marcus felt a chill. Inside the room, Amelia felt something wrong too. Richard came back with a fake smile. Good morning, sweetheart, he said. His voice was soft. Too soft. Like a mask. How are you feeling today? He asked. Amelia opened her eyes slowly. Same, she whispered. Richard nodded. That's okay, he said. We will make some changes to help you. Changes? Amelia asked softly. Yes, Richard said. New doctors. New plans. Better for both of us. Amelia wanted to ask more, but she stayed quiet. She needed to see. Later that afternoon, Marcus came in to clean. He moved slow. He leaned closer to Amelia and spoke very quietly. Mam Marcus whispered. I don't want to scare you, but I think your husband is planning something. Amelia's eyes opened a little wider. What? She whispered. I heard him talking about papers, Marcus said. Lawyer. Control. Money. Amelia's heart skipped. She kept her face calm. Thank you, she said softly. I will be careful. Marcus nodded. He felt nervous, but he felt responsible now. That evening, Amelia called her private lawyer in secret. She used a small hidden phone. Something is wrong, Amelia whispered. He is changing things behind my back. The lawyer was serious. If he gets power of attorney, the lawyer said, he can move you, control your money, make decisions for you. Amelia closed her eyes. He thinks I am weak, she said. He thinks I cannot fight. The lawyer said, then let him think that. We will prepare. The test just became a war. Later that night, Richard sat by her bed. He held her hand, but it felt fake. Cold. I love you, Richard said. Amelia almost laughed. Almost. But she did not. Because she saw the truth now. This was no longer just about love. This was about power. This was about money. This was about control. Marcus walked past the door again. He saw Richard leaning over Amelia. He saw the fake care, the fake tears. Marcus whispered to himself, that man is dangerous. Marcus went home that night, but he could not sleep. His mind kept going back to Amelia, to her eyes. Not weak, not broken, strong, alert. Marcus made a decision. If things got worse, he would not stay silent, because silence helps bad people. And sometimes, a janitor sees what rich people hide. Most people in the hospital saw Marcus as invisible. They walked past him. They talked over him. They never asked his name. To them, he was just the janitor. But Marcus saw everything. He heard everything. And now, he understood something important. This was not just about a sick woman. This was about a man trying to take control. That morning, Marcus came to work early. He did not go straight to cleaning. He stood near the front desk. He listened. He watched Richard. Richard walked fast. Phone to his ear. Voice low. Yes, today, Richard said. I want it done today. Marcus followed at a distance. Not close enough to be seen. Not far enough to miss words. Richard went into a private meeting room. Marcus pretended to clean nearby. Through the door, he heard voices. A man's voice. Calm. Sharp. The lawyer. We can move fast, the lawyer said. With the right papers, you can make all decisions. Richard replied, That's what I want. Full control. Marcus felt his stomach turn. Full control. That meant Amelia would have no voice. No choice. No power. Marcus stepped back quietly. His hands shook. He was just a janitor. What would he do? Then he remembered something. Something from his past. Years ago, Marcus had studied law. Not finished. Life got in the way. Bills. Family problems. Bad luck. But he still remembered contracts. He still remembered rights. He still understood danger. Marcus walked to Amelia's room. He knocked softly. Richard was not there. Amelia looked tired, but her eyes were sharp. Ma'am, Marcus said quietly. I heard a meeting with a lawyer. Right now. Amelia's heart jumped. What kind of lawyer? She asked. Private, Marcus said. Not yours. Amelia closed her eyes. He is moving fast, she whispered. Marcus nodded. Yes, he said. And he is trying to take control. Amelia looked at Marcus. Really looked. You understand this, she said. Marcus hesitated. I studied law once, he said softly. I know enough to know this is bad. Amelia felt something change inside her. For the first time since the accident, she did not feel alone. Can you help me? Amelia asked. Marcus did not answer right away. Helping could cost him his job. Helping could bring trouble. But he thought about Richard's cold face. He thought about Amelia's quiet strength. Yes, Marcus said. I will help. That one word changed everything. Later that day, Richard brought papers into the room. He held a folder. He smiled. Too calm. I brought something to help you, Richard said. What is it? Amelia asked softly. Just some paperwork, Richard said. Normal stuff. For care. For treatment. Marcus was cleaning near the wall. He watched. He listened. Richard put the folder on the table. He pointed to a line. Just sign here, Richard said. It will make things easier. Amelia looked at the papers. She could see big words. Legal words. She did not touch the pen. Can I read it? She asked. Richard's smile tightened. It's long, he said. You don't need to stress yourself. Marcus felt anger rise. That was a lie. Amelia took a deep breath. I want to read it, she said. Richard's voice changed. Amelia, trust me, he said. I am your husband. Marcus stepped forward slowly. Sir, Marcus said politely. She has the right to read it. Richard turned to Marcus. His eyes were hard. Stay in your place, Richard snapped. This is none of your business. Marcus stayed calm. Yes, sir, he said, but it is still her right. The room felt tight. Richard stared at Marcus. For a second, it looked like he might explode. Then he forced a smile. Fine, Richard said. Take your time. But inside he was angry. Very angry. That night, Amelia called her lawyer again. She told him everything. The secret meetings. The papers. Marcus. The lawyer said, Good. Do not sign anything. We will prepare. The chess game had started. Richard thought he was winning. But he did not see Marcus. The man in plain clothes. The man people ignored. Marcus went home tired. But for the first time in a long time, he felt strong. Because sometimes, the person with the broom is the one who sweeps away lies. And sometimes, the quiet man becomes the loudest truth. The room felt smaller than ever. Not because of the walls, but because of the pressure. Amelia sat quietly in her bed. Her hands rested on the blanket. Her heart was loud inside her chest. Richard stood near the table. The folder was there again. The same folder. The same papers. But this time, Richard's voice was softer. Too soft. Amelia, Richard said, I know things have been hard. He pulled a chair close. He sat near her bed. He took her hand. His touch felt empty. But I'm doing this for us, he said. I want to make your life easier. Amelia looked at his face. She searched for love. She found none. Only patience running out. What are the papers? Amelia asked softly. Richard smiled. They are for better care, he said. So I can make quick choices for you. That sounds serious, Amelia said. Richard squeezed her hand. You trust me, right? He asked. That question felt heavy. Amelia wanted to scream. She wanted to say, I trusted you with my heart. I trusted you with my life. And you failed me. but she stayed in character. She nodded slowly. Yes, she whispered. Richard pushed the folder closer. Just sign, he said. One signature. That's all. Amelia picked up the pen. Her fingers shook on purpose. Inside, she was calm. She was watching him, testing him. One last time. This was the final test. Richard leaned forward. His eyes stayed on the pen. Not on her face. Not on her pain. Only on the signature line. That told Amelia everything. At that moment, the door opened. Marcus walked in with his cleaning cart. Sorry, Marcus said politely. I need to clean. Richard turned sharply. Not now, Richard snapped. Come back later. Marcus nodded. Yes, sir, he said. But instead of leaving, Marcus moved slowly. Very slowly. He rolled his cart near the table. His eyes saw the folder. He recognized the format. Legal. Serious. Dangerous. Marcus accidentally hit the table. The folder slid. The papers scattered. Oh, I'm sorry, Marcus said quickly. My mistake. Richard jumped up. What are you doing? Richard shouted. Amelia flinched on purpose. I'm so sorry, Marcus said again. I'll pick them up. Richard bent down fast. Too fast. Like he was scared someone would read. Marcus also bent down. His eyes caught words. Power of attorney. Full medical control. Financial authority. Marcus felt his blood run cold. He looked at Amelia. Just for a second. Amelia saw his face. She understood. This was it. Richard grabbed the papers. Get out, Richard said angrily. Now. Marcus stood up. Yes, sir, he said. But before leaving, Marcus said quietly. She should read them. Richard's face turned red. Get out, Richard shouted. Marcus left. The door closed. The room went silent. Richard's breathing was heavy. He turned to Amelia. I'm sorry about that, Richard said. He's always clumsy. Amelia looked at the papers again. Can I read them now? She asked. Richard froze for half a second. Then he smiled again. They are long, he said. You just get tired. That's okay. Amelia said. I have time. Richard's patience cracked. Amelia, don't make this hard, he said. I'm trying to help you. Help. That word felt like a knife. Amelia slowly put the pen down. No, she said quietly. Richard blinked. What? He asked. I said no. Amelia repeated. I will not sign right now. Richard stood up fast. You're being difficult, he snapped. I'm doing everything for you. For me? Amelia whispered. Yes. Richard shouted. My whole life is on hold. That was the truth. Not love. Not care. Inconvenience. Burden. Amelia felt something harden inside her. This was no longer a test. This was proof. Richard turned away. He paced the room. This is why I need control, he said. You can't even make simple choices. Amelia closed her eyes. She had her answer. Outside the door, Marcus stood still. He heard the raised voices. He heard anger. He whispered to himself. It's time. Inside, Amelia opened her eyes. She made a silent decision. The test was over. The truth was clear. Now, it was time to change the game. The room was quiet. Too quiet. Richard stood near the window, breathing hard. Amelia lay still on the bed. Her face looked weak, but her eyes were awake. Sharp. Focused. She had seen enough. She had heard enough. She had felt enough. This was no longer a test. This was a verdict. Richard turned back toward her. We will talk about this later, he said. I have a meeting. He grabbed his jacket. He reached for the door. That's when Amelia spoke. Richard, she said calmly. Her voice was different. Not weak. Not shaking. Richard stopped. He turned slowly. What? He asked. I said, stop, Amelia said. Richard frowned. What is this? He asked. You're tired. Rest. Amelia placed her hands on the bed. Her fingers pressed into the mattress. Richard did not understand. Not yet. Amelia took a deep breath. Then, she moved. Her legs shifted. Just a little. Richard froze. His eyes went to her legs. What did you just do? He asked. Amelia did not answer. She moved her other leg. Slow. Controlled. Real. Richard stepped back. That's not funny, he said. Stop playing. Amelia pushed herself up. Her arms were strong. She sat up straight. No shaking. No pain. No fear. Richard's face went white. What is this? He whispered. Amelia looked him in the eyes. I was never paralyzed, she said calmly. The words hit the room like thunder. Richard's mouth opened. No sound came out. You're lying, he said. Amelia swung her legs over the side of the bed. She stood, on her own, strong, steady, alive. Richard stumbled back. This is impossible, he said. The doctors, they were part of it. Amelia said. So was my lawyer. Richard shook his head. No, you can't do this, he said. You're sick. I was testing you. Amelia said. I wanted to see who you really are. Richard's voice changed, from shock to anger. You tricked me, he shouted. No, Amelia said. You show me who you are. The door opened. Marcus stood there. So did Amelia's lawyer. And 2 hospital security officers. Richard turned. What is this? He yelled. Amelia's lawyer stepped forward. Mr. Carter, the lawyer said, we have recordings, witnesses, and illegal documents. Marcus stepped forward slowly. He held his phone. I heard your calls, Marcus said. I recorded what I could. Richard pointed at Marcus. This is a setup. Richard shouted. He's just a janitor. Amelia stepped between them. He is a man, Amelia said firmly. And he showed more care than you ever did. Richard's face twisted. You think you won? He said. I'm your husband. Amelia's voice stayed calm. You were, she said. Not anymore. The lawyer spoke again. You attempted to gain full control of her assets and medical rights without consent, the lawyer said. That is fraud. Richard's knees looked weak. Security stepped closer. Richard laughed nervously. You can't prove anything, he said. Marcus raised his phone. Listen, Marcus said. He pressed play. Richard's voice filled the room. She's too weak to fight back. Once I have control, it's over. Silence followed. Richard's world cracked. His shoulders dropped. Amelia felt something lift from her chest. Not anger. Relief. Truth. You left me emotionally, Amelia said. You used my weakness for your gain. Richard's voice broke. I was under pressure, he said. You don't understand. I understand perfectly, Amelia said. I understand that when things got hard, you stopped loving. Police officers entered the room. Richard turned fast. This is crazy, he said. She planned this. Yes, Amelia said. I planned to learn the truth. The officer stepped forward. Mr. Carter, the officer said, you need to come with us for questioning. Richard looked at Amelia. Real fear in his eyes now. You're ruining my life, he said. Amelia looked back. You ruined your own, she said. They took Richard away. The room felt lighter. Quieter. Marcus stood near the wall, not sure what to do. Amelia turned to him. Marcus, she said. He looked up. Yes, ma'am. You stood up for me, Amelia said. When you didn't have to. Marcus nodded. It was the right thing, he said. Amelia smiled. Not weak. Strong. Sometimes, she said, the people the world ignores are the ones who save us. Marcus looked down, humble, but proud. Outside, Richard's voice faded. The door closed. Amelia stood in the middle of the room. Free, not just in her body, but in her life. The hospital hallway felt different now. Not heavy, not dark, but clear, like a storm had passed. Richard was gone. The sound of his voice was gone. The fear he brought into the room was gone. Amelia sat in a chair near the window. Not a hospital bed. A chair. By choice. She held a warm cup of tea. Her hands were steady. For the first time in weeks, she felt in control. Her lawyer sat across from her. Everything is in motion, the lawyer said. Divorce papers. Asset protection. Fraud investigation. Amelia nodded. Do it properly, she said. I want it clean. I want it fair. The lawyer smiled slightly. You are stronger than most people I know, he said. Amelia looked out the window. I had to be, she said, because love showed me its true face. News of Richard's arrest spread fast. Hospital staff whispered. Some felt shocked. Some said they always felt something was off. Richard's business partners stopped calling. His friends went silent. His world shrank fast. Karma did not rush, but karma did not miss. Days later, Amelia asked for Marcus. A nurse brought him to the room. Marcus walked in slowly. He looked nervous. You wanted to see me, ma'am? Marcus asked. Yes, Amelia said with a warm smile. Please sit. Marcus sat on the edge of a chair. Amelia looked at him carefully. Not as a janitor, not as staff, but as a man who stood up. When everyone else looked away, Amelia said. You paid attention. Marcus nodded. I just did what felt right, he said. That's what real character is, Amelia said. Doing right when no one is watching. Amelia slid a folder across the table. Marcus looked at it. What is this? He asked. A job offer, Amelia said. Marcus blinked. A what? My personal operations team, Amelia said. Security. Compliance. Internal watch. Marcus's eyes widened. But I'm just. You're not just anything, Amelia said firmly. You are observant. Honest. Brave. Marcus swallowed. I don't even know if I can. I know you can, Amelia said. And I will make sure you get training. Support. Respect. Marcus looked down. No one had spoken to him like that in a long time. Thank you, he said quietly. Amelia smiled. You didn't help me for money, she said. But I will not forget what you did. Later that week, Amelia held a small press meeting. Not big, not flashy, just honest. She stood in front of cameras. Strong. Confident. I went through a difficult personal test, Amelia said. It showed me who truly cared and who did not. She did not say Marcus's name. She protected him. But she made one thing clear. True love is not about comfort, she said. It is about character. Richard watched the news from a small room. Not a mansion. Not a luxury office. A small, quiet room. His phone did not ring. No calls. No support. Only silence. The life he used to have was gone. Not because of Amelia, but because of his choices. Back at the hospital, Marcus walked the halls differently now. Not with pride, but with purpose. He still wore simple clothes. But people noticed him now. They looked him in the eyes. They said his name. Respect had entered the room. Amelia left the hospital days later. Walking. Strong. Free. Marcus stood near the door as she walked out. Not as a janitor. Not as invisible. But as someone who mattered. Amelia stopped. She looked at him. You changed my life, she said. Marcus shook his head. No, he said. You changed your own life. I just stood beside you. Amelia smiled. That's what real people do, she said. They stand when others fall. As Amelia walked into the sunlight, the message was clear. Money can buy comfort. Money can buy silence. But money cannot buy character. True love is not proven in easy days. True love is proven in hard moments. And sometimes, the hero is not the rich man, not the loud man, not the powerful man. Sometimes, the hero is the one with a broom, the one people ignore, the one who sees truth and chooses to stand.